Hello students, this is the 13th lecture of our topic trigonometric functions. In last two lectures we have learned inverse trigonometric functions and their graphs in detail. Now in this lecture we will learn some properties of inverse trigonometric functions. Actually there are 5 groups of properties of inverse trigonometric functions. Those 5 groups are nothing but first A, that is the reciprocal argument. These are the properties related to sine, cos and tan in this group. Here, let us see this first one, sine inverse x equal to cosec inverse 1 upon x. Before learning this, let us see that sine theta, if sine theta is equal to x, then obviously cosec theta is equal to 1 upon sine theta. Cosec theta is nothing but 1 upon sine theta, so it will be 1 upon x. That's very simple to understand. So here we know the boundaries for this sine function. Sine function is bounded function and it is bounded in the interval -1 to 1. Therefore the x has values -1 to +1. Therefore here the x -1 to 1 means sometimes x may be 0 here, because 0 belongs to -1 to 1. That's why condition is given x not equal to 0, because here if you find cosec theta then it will be 1 upon 0, that will not be defined. So the condition is x is not equal to 0. So understand these conditions. Function, the graph of inverse sine function, then here it is bounded between two vertical lines, that is x equal to -1 and x equal to +1, and in this case here we can define inverse function. So here theta is equal to sine inverse of x, and this implies theta equal to cosec inverse of 1 upon x. So this theta, sine inverse x, and the same theta is cosec inverse of x. So sine inverse of x is equal to cosec inverse of 1 upon x. In reverse way, we can take sine theta is equal to 1 upon x. If you take sine theta equal to 1 upon x, then cosec theta will become only x. And so we get angles as this, and here we get 1 upon x. But in this case, whenever we are taking sine theta equal to 1 upon x, theta is not equal to 0, and the domain becomes, or it is that domain, this x belongs to R minus open interval -1 to 1 can be obtained from the graph of inverse cosec function. In this case, the domain for cosec function is the interval or all the values on x-axis here, which are more than +1 and less than -1. Means it's a real set of real numbers except open interval -1 to +1. That is given. So whenever x is R minus open interval -1 to 1 and x is not equal to 0, again x is at 0, this function is not defined. So if x satisfies this condition, then we can write cosec inverse of x equal to sine inverse of 1 upon x. Let us see second one. It is similar to this, because again the domain for cos function is set of all real numbers and the codomain is closed interval -1 to +1. Therefore cos inverse of x is equal to sec inverse of 1 upon x, similar results, and cos inverse of 1 upon x equal to sec inverse of x. These cos and secs are multiplicative inverse of each other. But if you take the inverse here, then these numbers are multiplicative inverse of each other. This third property is similar property we will get to tan and cot. Tan inverse of x equal to cot inverse of 1 upon x, but here the condition is x greater than 0. In case of tan, here the tan function, here whenever x is greater than 0 means to the positive, to the this x is greater than 0, this tan inverse of x equal to cot inverse of 1 upon x. It becomes tan inverse of x is equal to cot inverse of 1 upon. This is the graph of inverse cotangent function. So when x equal to 1, suppose this will be pi by 4. Tan inverse of x means tan inverse of 1 is equal to pi by 4. At the same time, cot inverse of 1 upon x, that is x equal to 1, suppose, then at this stage cot inverse of 1 upon x, then it will be again pi by 4, the same pi by 4. But if you consider about the negative, when x is less than 0, then tan inverse of 1, when x is negative, suppose x equal to minus 1, then whenever x equal to minus 1, here this will be minus pi by 4. Minus pi by 4. So tan inverse of minus 1 is minus pi by 4, and for the same here, when x equal to minus 1, cot inverse of 1 upon x is, this will be plus pi by 4. This will be and minus pi. So 3 pi by 4 minus pi, it will give us once again minus pi by 4 equivalent to this. So whenever x is negative, means if you take, in case of inverse functions of tan and cot, if you take negative x, then there is difference of negative pi. Subtract pi from the same property. Okay, so these are three groups of property in this first type, that is the reciprocal argument properties of inverse trigonometric functions. Okay, now let us see the second type of properties of inverse trigonometric functions as negative arguments. These properties or arguments are related to the negative numbers. Here we know that x from minus 1 to 1 is the domain of inverse sine function and inverse cosine function, because both these graphs are in the interval minus 1 to 1, minus 1 to 1. Therefore, for this interval, means whenever domain is minus close interval minus 1 to 1, sine inverse of minus x is minus sine inverse x. Means this negative sign of number can be taken outside the inverse function if this x belongs to its domain of sine inverse function x. Similarly, this x is negative when x belongs to the domain of inverse cosine function. Now here in second group, x belongs to R. Here for tangent and cotangent inverse functions is the domain for this inverse tangent function and inverse cotangent function is set of all real numbers on x-axis. Therefore, for all x belongs to R, inverse tangent function of negative x is equal to minus of tan inverse x. But as here tan inverse x, if you take negative x, then minus tan inverse of x. But in case of cotangent function, here tangent in this case the graph of inverse tangent function is increasing while the graph of inverse cotangent function is decreasing. Therefore, for inverse cotangent function, negative x becomes pi minus cot inverse of x. Okay, now let us see the third group. Here, if x is modulus of x is greater or equal to 1, it means the same meaning for this is x is less than minus 1, x is less than minus 1, and x is greater than plus 1, because mod of x is greater than or equal to 1. When x is positive, mod of x is x, and when x is negative, mod of x is minus x. So x is less than minus 1 means values of x are less than minus 1 tends to 0. So this set will be, so the domain for this cosecant and second function is, here x belongs to open infinity to -1 union close 1 to open infinity. It has the same meaning that x belongs to set of R minus open -1 to 1. Both are same. So here this mod of x is not equal to 1 means x belongs to minus infinity to close -1 and close 1 to plus infinity. So union of these two sets gives us set of all values belongs to this domain for cosec inverse x and sec inverse x, or the domain will be R minus open interval -1. It's a set of all real values except this open interval -1 to 1. So whenever x belongs to this interval or this domain, then we can define cosec inverse and sec inverse. So whenever this number is negative, then cosec inverse of -x is minus cosec inverse x, and sec inverse of -x is similar to this one, that is minus sec inverse x. Okay, so this is the second type of properties. Now see the third type of properties, inverse sum identities. In this group, we will take the sum of inverse trigonometric functions. In first property, as the domain for sine inverse and cos inverse is close interval -1 to 1, therefore if you take the sum of these two inverse trigonometric functions, then that will be quadratic. This is very easy property. You know that in right angle triangle, for example, suppose for right angle triangle, if you take this as alpha, this as beta, then if sin alpha is equal to suppose something a, here this number is same, then at the same time if a is equal to cos beta, then here alpha is equal to sin inverse a and beta is equal to cos inverse a. So addition of these two, this is nothing but alpha plus beta, and here alpha plus beta is nothing but the pi by 2. Okay, so in this way we can write the proof of this property. For second one, in case of tan inverse x, cot inverse x in the same right angle triangle, we can prove that tan inverse x plus cot inverse x is equal to pi by 2, and cosec inverse x plus sec inverse x is equal to pi by 2. So these are the three results related to their respective domains. Now let us see this fourth one. In this fourth result, it is related to tan inverse x plus tan inverse of y. We can use here the formula of tan of a plus b is equal to tan a plus b tan b upon 1 minus tan a tan b. Considering tan inverse x equal to a and tan inverse y equal to b, and applying some properties, we will reach to this formula, and using this formula, again taking inverse function, we will get this right hand side. So here, whenever a plus b is there, we will use this formula, but when negative sign is there, means difference of two angles is taken, we change the signs in that formula. But here, in case of inverse tangent functions, whenever x and y are positive and xy is less than 1, then we can use the similar formula here, because this xy is less than 1. So here we get, whenever xy is less than 1, 1 minus number less than 1, we will get here positive number, and that's why we get this tan inverse x plus y upon 1 minus x. But whenever this xy is greater than 1, when xy is greater than 1, this 1 minus number greater than 1 will give us negative number here, as x and y are both are positive, but at the denominator we get negative sign. That's why this identity fails here. So we have to add pi into the right side. Similarly, if x and y are both positive, and whenever we are taking subtraction, then both are positive. So tan inverse x plus tan inverse y is equal to tan inverse of x minus y upon 1 plus xy. Means the similar formula we get here. But when these x and y have product equal to 1, then tan inverse of x plus tan inverse of y is equal to pi by 2. Actually, there are so many properties like this. For example, because in this first group we have taken two different inverse functions, but the numbers are same, xx. But in this group, the numbers are different, but the function is same. Similarly, we can take sin inverse x plus sin inverse y. These properties, remaining properties are not given in our board textbook, but there are so many properties like this. Let us see one: sin inverse x plus sin inverse of y. In this case, whenever x and y are positive, this means x and y belongs to -1 to +1. Means -1 is less than x, y is also equal to 1. Then sin inverse x plus sin inverse of y is equal to sin inverse of x root 1 minus y square plus y root 1 minus x square. And there are different properties like this. Okay, so these are some properties in this group, inverse sum identities. Now see the fourth group of properties of inverse trigonometric functions, that is conversion of one inverse trigonometric functions to another inverse trigonometric function. Here, if sin inverse of x, this inverse function is given, then we can write cos inverse of root 1 minus x square. Again, considering sin inverse of x equal to theta, we get x equal to sin theta. From that, find cos theta. It will be obviously, if x equal to sin theta, then that x in terms of cos is root 1 minus cos square theta. So again, applying property with cos inverse of root 1 minus x square. If this is sin inverse cos inverse, then tan inverse will be the ratio of these two, that is x upon root 1 minus x square. Cot inverse is again inverse of this, so we get this. Sec inverse is inverse of cos inverse, so means sec is inverse of cos, so we get this reciprocal here. Sin inverse x equal to cosec inverse of 1 upon x. Means using that previous inverse properties for inverse, we can write these ratios immediately. Whenever in example you have given, suppose sin inverse of half, then you can directly write it is nothing but tan inverse of half upon root 1 minus half, that is 4, and that is equal to tan inverse of 1 upon root 3. So sin inverse of half is equal to tan inverse of 1 upon root 3. Similarly, let us see second group. Here cos inverse of x is given, so this cos inverse of x is equal to sin inverse of root 1 minus x square. We can obtain this between the relation between sin and cos function. So we know now cos inverse sin inverse, so we get x upon root 1 minus x square upon x. Similarly, from tan we can obtain cot inverse, from sin inverse we can obtain cosec inverse, and from cos inverse we can obtain sec inverse. Now the last group, that is tan inverse of x. You know the relation between tan and sec. So using that relation, we get tan inverse of x equal to sec inverse of root 1 plus x square. Now knowing tan and sec, we can obtain sin inverse, because sin inverse, there is relation between tan, sec and sec. From sin we get cosec inverse, taking the reciprocals of these numbers. From sec inverse x equal to cosec inverse of 1 upon x, tan inverse of x equal to 1 upon cot inverse of 1 upon x. So taking the reciprocals we get this result. So these are the conversions of one trigonometric function, inverse trigonometric function, to another inverse trigonometric function. Okay. Now let us see the fifth group of properties of inverse trigonometric ratios of multiple angles. Here in first formula, double sine inverse function is taken, and second triple sine inverse. In this third one, double cos inverse x and triple cos inverse x. Means double inverse trigonometric function is given, and we have to convert it into single inverse trigonometric function. Here you know that the domain for sine inverse function is -1 to 1, closed interval -1 to 1, and you know the angle formula for double angle, that is sine of 2 theta is equal to 2 sine theta cos theta. You know this formula. Knowing that formula, you can easily write this formula also, because instead of here sine 2 theta, 2 sine inverse x is given. So after that here we get 2x sine inverse 2x, and this is root 1 minus x square, because if we consider sin theta equal to x, then cos theta will be root 1 minus x square. So similar formula we are observing in this bracket, but the difference is this interval -1 to +1 is divided into 3 intervals, that is from -1 to less than -1 upon root 2. In this interval, 2 sin inverse x is equal to -5. Means that negative portion of that interval is taken. -1 to +1. Before that, -1 upon root 2. Then +1 upon root 2. And this -1. So this is first interval. This will be second one. And this will be third. For this interval, -1 to -1 upon root 2 is 2 sin inverse of x is equal to -5 of minus sin inverse of 2x into root 1 minus x square. Whenever interval is taken, this -1 upon root 2 to +1 upon root 2, we will take the formula as it is. And for the third interval, it is +5 minus sin inverse of 2x root 1 minus x square. Okay, let us see the second one. This is the triple angle formula. This triple inverse trigonometric function. So you know the triple angle formula for sine, that is sine 3 theta is equal to 3 sine theta minus 4 sine cube theta. So remembering that formula, you can write this expression, that is 3x. Instead of sin x, put x. Sin theta, put x. So 3x minus 4x cube. So similar to that subintervals, here this -1 to 1 is divided into 3 parts or 3 intervals. Those are nothing but the -1 to -half. This is 0. This will be -1. -half to +half, and +half to -1. So this is, first is -1 to -half, second is -half to +half, and +half to +1. Okay, these 3 intervals are taken, and in the central interval the function is as it is, that is 3 sin inverse x is equal to sin inverse of 3x minus 4 sin 4x cube. And in first interval it is negative, so negative pi minus sin inverse. The third interval is positive, so positive pi minus the same. So here also the negative pi minus this, plus pi minus this. Means this middle term is same. Whenever interval is totally negative, subtract minus pi from negative sin inverse of this. Here add pi. Now let us move towards this third one. In third formula, it is about 2 cos inverse x. You know that the formula for cos 2 theta? Cos 2 theta is 2 cos square theta minus 1. So remembering this formula, you can use that here. Here the domain for inverse cosine function is minus 1 to plus 1. That domain is converted into only two groups, that is minus 1 to 0 and 0 to plus 1. This one and this one. Second. So in this interval, whenever this x is in negative, then it is 2 pi minus cos inverse of 2x square minus 1. And whenever x is positive, it is only cos inverse of 2x square plus 1. Now let us see the fourth one, that is triple of cos inverse of x. Here again 3 cos theta is cos 3 theta is equal to 4 cos cube theta minus 3 cos theta. That is the triple angle formula for cosine ratio. Using this formula, remember, convert this as 4x cube minus 3x. That is here 4x cube minus 3x. So whenever this x is positive, that is it is from half to 1, only positive, then we get it as cos inverse of 4x cube minus 3x. Then when it is total negative minus 1 to minus half, again here that interval minus 1 to 1 is divided into 3 parts, that is minus 1 to minus half and 0 plus half plus 1. Here minus 1 to minus half, it is 2 pi plus cos inverse, this the same. When minus half to plus half, it is 2 pi minus cos inverse of 4x cube minus 3x. When it is half to 1, x is half to 1, then 3 cos inverse x is equal to cos inverse of 4x cube minus 3x. Okay, these are the formulae. Here this is the relation between double sin inverse x into single sin inverse x, triple sin inverse x into single sin inverse x, double cos inverse into single cos, and triple cos inverse into single cos. Now let us see the relation between double tan inverse and triple tan inverse. Okay, the property number 5 and 6 are about double inverse tangent function and triple tan inverse tangent function, but both these properties are in terms of single inverse tangent function. But in property 7 and 8, those are about double tan inverse x only, but this double tan inverse x is in terms of sin inverse, and this double tan inverse x is in terms of cos inverse. Okay, let us see this one. Here the once again the domain for tangent function is x belongs to R, means all real numbers, means they x may be negative, positive or 0. Here whenever x is negative and less than minus 1, means if this set of real numbers is divided into 3 parts, that is suppose 0, there is minus 1, there is plus 1. So whenever x is less than minus 1, is only this portion. Then this 2 tan inverse x is equal to minus pi plus the formula for tan 2 theta. Formula for tan 2 theta in terms of tan is 2 tan theta upon 1 plus tan square theta. So remember this formula and use it here to convert double inverse tangent function into single inverse tangent function. So we get here 2 tan inverse x is equal to tan inverse of 2x upon 1 plus x square. But use the same formula directly for this interval when x belongs to minus 1 to plus 1. Whenever x is minus 1 to plus 1, then we can use the formula tan inverse of 2x upon 1 plus x. But when x is greater than 1, again here, then for that interval x greater than 1, we will add pi in the same formula. Okay, Let us see this sixth one. Here 3 tan inverse x, the interval again, the domain for tangent function is x belongs to R. This domain is divided into 3 parts, that is x less than minus 1 upon root 3 and between or from minus 1 upon root 3 to plus 1 upon root 3 and greater than plus 1 upon root 3. So whenever this interval is less than or x is less than negative 1 upon root 3, is 3 tan inverse x. Now the formula for tan 3 theta is equal to tan of, it is equal to 3 tan theta minus tan cube theta upon 1 minus 3 tan square theta. That is the formula for triple angle formula, tangent of triple angle formula, to convert the angle into single angle. Here the 3 tan inverse x, it is similar formula for this middle interval from minus 1 upon root 3 to plus 1 upon root 3. 3 tan inverse x is equal to 3 tan inverse of 3x minus x cube upon 1 minus 3x square. So you can remember this formula from this for that middle or central interval. For this central interval we get the similar formula. So 3 tan inverse x is equal to this for minus 1 upon root 3 to plus 1 upon root 3. If you take the negative values only, that is less than minus 1 upon root 3, then subtract pi from the same term. And if you take the x greater than plus 1 upon root 3, add pi in the same formula. Okay. Let us see the seventh one. Now this is double inverse tangent function into single inverse sine function. Again, the domain for tangent function is tangent inverse function is x belongs to R. This set of real numbers here is divided into 3 intervals. One is numbers which are less than minus 1. This is first. This is second. And this is third. That is x less than minus 1, x is minus 1 to 1, and x greater than 1, that is this. So whenever we are taking the negative numbers less than minus 1, or before that first see this interval, whenever x is from minus 1 to 1, then 2 tan inverse x is equal to sin inverse of 2x upon 1 plus x square, because you know the formula of sin 2 theta in terms of tan theta is 2 tan theta upon 1 plus tan square theta. So use this formula here. This sin inverse will go to the right side and this tan will go to the left hand side. So we get 2 tan inverse of x is equal to sin inverse of 2x upon 1 plus x square for that second interval, middle interval. Now whenever we are taking negative values of x, subtract this term from minus pi. And if you take x greater than 1, means this interval, then subtract the same term from pi. Okay, remember these intervals here, these angles here. Now the last one is 2 tan inverse of cos. You know the formula again, that is cos 2 theta in terms of tan, that is 1 minus tan square theta upon 1 plus tan square theta. So cos 2 theta in terms of tan is this. Remember from this the formula for double inverse tangent function, that is this, taking this tan to the left, plus consider it as, it becomes 2 tan inverse x is equal to cos inverse of 1 minus x square upon 1 plus x square whenever x is positive. Here again for tan theta, the x is set of real numbers, or domain is a set of real numbers, and it is divided into 2 intervals only, that is positive and negative. This x is greater than or equal to 0 and this x is negative, and here 0 and positive. So whenever this x is non-negative, then we write directly as cos inverse of 1 minus x square upon 1 plus x square. And whenever x is negative only, then we will take the negative of this that is minus of cosinus of 1 minus x square upon 1 plus x square. Okay. I think these are 7 formulas in this last 5th group. Okay. So once again revise all these properties of inverse trigonometric functions so that we can easily solve examples based on these formulas. Okay. Thank you.